Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skysworld.com if you want life coaching or mentoring. It's Sunday morning, bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through. Let's get into our study group for warriors. I don't think I have any new subscribers this week, so I'm not going to bother explaining how this works. Let's just get into it. I got a lot to go over. I don't know if we're going to get to even half of it. I was listening to a talk earlier in the week, which was interesting, by a scientist. It was a podcast. He was being interviewed, and he was describing the nature of the universe. He was talking about matter. Every bit of matter is really a particle of light vibrating. You feel solid. You can grab something. My teacup here feels pretty damn solid. It's just particles of light vibrating. The reason why I don't pass through it is because the particles of light that make me up are vibrating at a different rate. So the nature of the universe is a fractal holographic light matrix that was programmed by a creator. Scientists have been able to discover that there is a basic programming to the universe. And there's a code. There's like a universal code that makes up all matter. This code is repeated. It's recognizable. And it's not by accident. We're absolutely living in a simulation, and they've proved it. I don't know if you guys go to church. I don't go to church. I feel like a lot of churches are scams. I was listening to a guy talk about this earlier in the week, and I thought it was a very interesting talk. These Cadillac churches, these Cadillac preachers. And you have everybody from T.D. Jakes to Joel Osteen and plenty of others. There may be one in your town. We have a whole street of mega churches, and you drive down that street and it's just one after another, and they all have these billboards out front with some catchy saying, and the churches are all these windowless buildings, these giant brand new windowless buildings. It's funny how they don't have any windows. I'm used to Catholic churches, big stained glass windows. These mega churches don't have shit. I've been inside a mega church once. It was, who was the guy? He had a funny name. Dr. Michael Beckwith. And he's wearing like this pimp suit. And he's strutting around on stage like he was Snoop Dogg. Back and forth, yelling and screaming, hooting and hollering. You know who was there? Standing right next to me at that church, it was out in LA, was the actor Dennis Quaid. I was there with my brother. I don't even know why the hell we went. Just thought we'd check it out, I guess. And we were looking around at the scene, giant auditorium, and this goofball preacher strutting around, talking nonsense. And good old Dennis Quaid, he's lost in the moment. His eyes were glassed over, and he was just lost in the moment. I looked over at him and his wife and was just like, oh man, you guys are weirdos, dude. How could you buy into this crap? People do. They buy into these fucking Cadillac churches. Find a church of God, not of cash. Question your preacher. Let's go on to the next one. I was listening to a talk by Andrew Tate, and he's being interviewed by some psychologist or psychiatrist or whatever. I don't know who he was, but it was an interesting conversation. The problem I have with Andrew Tate videos, and apparently he's watching, so the problem I have with your videos, homeboy, is that you spend a lot of time talking about yourself, and to me that gets boring. Just being honest with you. I get tired of listening to you talk about yourself. However, in that video, and this guy, man, he gets 1 million views in the first day the video drops. I get 20 views after a year and a half. Stop defending your depression. and start fighting it. That's a good fucking bit of advice. Every once in a while, you get one of these little fucking kernels of knowledge out of a guy like Andrew Tate, and that's why I like him. It's so true. Stop defending your depression and start fighting it. I have noticed this exact same damn thing in so many people. People get defensive. They want to defend their depression. Defend it like it's a little baby being attacked by a lion or something. They have to care for their depression, coddle their depression. Fight that shit. Take that depression and throw it out the window. Let's go to the next one. Here's a quote that I don't know what it means. We'll go over it together. Will a man rob God? That's from the Bible. Will a man rob God? The answer is yes, he will. You might be robbing God right now. How much have you robbed God for? You dirty thief. You think you're a good person? You know, I've been engaged in a new practice. I'll turn you guys onto it. You don't have to do it or anything like that. You can laugh at me for it, but I've become more and more religious as I've gotten older and more devotional, because I've realized that there is value in devotion, just like there's value in going to the gym. And there's this idea of offerings. It's been around for a long time. You used to sacrifice a goat. You know, that's an interesting way to accomplish a goal. When you sacrifice an animal, when you draw blood, and you commit an oath, and you've got your goat on your altar, and I'm assuming you have some big knife or something, and you slit its throat, or however you kill a goat, and you've drawn blood, there's blood on your hands and blood everywhere, and you're making this oath to God, this is what I'm going to do, and you make a sacrifice, you make an offering, and every time you think about straying from your oath, oh, I don't feel like it today, oh, I'm just not into this anymore, you'll remember that blood that you drew in order to make the statement. That's a promise. That's heavy duty shit, man. Most of you have never drawn blood and taken an oath. I have, and I'll never forget it. And motherfuckers go against that shit. It makes me so goddamn mad. It's like, how dare you? How fucking dare you? But I've been getting into this practice lately of making offerings. And though I'm not sacrificing animals, that would definitely be weird. However, I have seen both a possum and a raccoon cruising through my yard separate times. And I've thought about sacrificing both of them. But no, I've been thinking about making offerings. So what I've been doing is either in the beginning or the end of my meal, I leave a little bit for the trash can. As I'm preparing my food, and I'm cutting up carrots and preparing the meat and whatever, you know, I may just take a small portion and just toss it into the trash before I've even eaten it. Sure, it's a waste. I'm not throwing half of it away. Just a little tiny bite, a portion of it, as an offering. Instead of clearing my plate like I like to do, scraping it clean, looking it clean, I'll leave a little bit. I was with a friend the other night and she was like, well, you're not going to finish that? And I was like, no, I'm going to leave this part for an offering. She didn't know what I was talking about. Let's go on to the next one. Let me talk about God a little more. Hope you guys don't get offended. A man of God is separate from the world. And that's why they killed Jesus. That's why they kill all prophets. That's why all your heroes die. Because these types of motherfuckers, they're outlaws. Jesus was absolutely an outlaw. You know, Jesus never started a church. He never created Christianity. There's no Christianity in the Bible. The Bible has nothing to do with Christianity. Jesus didn't start Christianity. He didn't go around starting a church called Christianity. He was absolutely an outlaw, a criminal in the eyes of the government. And all he did was go around and spread the word of God. All that Christianity bullshit, all that religion, all that church shit that you guys worship, that came much, much later, and that was developed by the government. Christianity was created by the fucking government, not by the people. You ask yourself, why? That's a good question. We can make a whole video on why. Why do you think they created the church? The Roman emperors created Christianity for the people. Before that, it was just some outlaw shit, some pagan shit. Here's a little lesson, Jordan Peterson lesson. Disciplined emotion is not being emotionless. I mean, that stands on itself. Let's go to the next one. You guys heard of Jesse Lee Peterson? He's a riot. This guy is so funny. I can't say I agree with everything he says or anything, but he is hilarious. Here's one of his quotes. Unless you overcome your mother, every woman you meet will be your mother. You'll be marrying your mama if you don't overcome your attachment to your mother. How do you overcome that attachment? By forgiving her. You forgive her for being weak. You forgive her for being a bad mom. You forgive her for all the stuff she didn't do, all the things you thought she did wrong. You forgive her for being who she is. Do the same thing with your father. Then you're ready to be a man. Let's go on to the next one. Just got any time? Yeah, we got a little time. We can do a little bit more. When a pig has been in the dirt too long, it forgets what it means to be clean. Some of you have been down so goddamn long, you don't even know what up is anymore. You don't remember what it's like to be successful. You've been captured, domesticated like a pig, and you've lost all your hair. That's what happens to a pig if you capture it and domesticate it. And if you let a pig go, one of those little pig, cute little pigs with little snouts, you let one of those pigs go, it'll turn back wild. You may have to clean yourself off of all that dirt so you can remember what it means to be clean. What happened to you? You know, you have to think about this type of stuff. Where did I go wrong? Where did I stray? Never forget who you are, where you came from. Let's move on to the next one. Here's a little bit of dating tips for you guys. Find a woman who lives by God's principles. I think that's important. If she's not a spiritual woman, she's not going to be a good mother. Think about that type of stuff when you're on your first date. Is this the type of woman that I want to leave with my kids, to teach my kids, to raise my children? Here goes another one. I'd rather go to jail than go to hell. And that's for some of you conformists out there to remember. You follow the rules so much, you worship the police and the government so much. God first and country second. I'd gladly sit in jail if it meant to avoid going against what I believe in. I'm not going to betray myself, betray God, betray the world, betray my destiny just because of some stupid laws. Fuck your laws. I'm not going to bow down to your flag if it means to sell my soul. Fuck your flag. I'm not going to burn in hell with you. There we we have any time for any more. I don't think we have any time for any more. I got 2 more pages. We'll do another one on Wednesday if you guys want to. The Wednesday study group I did last week didn't get shit for views, so maybe I won't do it. We'll see. Thanks for watching.